Alright people, back. Let's see if I can hold this thing. Oh, another episode with Superman JP, Shirtless J, the Black Vin Diesel, the Darkest of Nights, all that good stuff. I got the dogs. We're in the backyard. Got another random repair video for you, just in case it helps somebody. Who knows? You got the Ford here. It's oh man, I got too much stuff in my head. This is a 2013 Ford F-150. We're gonna get to all this stuff in a second. But it has a steering problem. So the guy brought it to me, it had a steering problem. Well, not had, it has a steering problem. We're gonna hop right on here, take this key. We're gonna crank it up. Alright. And turn the wheel. It binds and then breaks loose. You can tell, you can see that. It binds and breaks loose. He's complaining about constant stiff steering and things. So we're gonna go ahead and try to get this under control. I already diagnosed it for him. So gotta watch out for these landmines. Yo, man, y'all need to learn how to poop over there, boy. Poop over there in the corner. Jesus Christ. Anyways, constant stiff steering, binding up and all that good crap. So all you gotta do is go down here. With these vehicles, there really isn't any power steering. Any power steering is directly in the rack, and then the rack is ran electronically. There's a computer on the bottom of the rack and pinion. Besides that, there's just a steering shaft. So you look at the steering shaft, and you can probably see all that ugliness and corrosion. This car came from up north around New Jersey. And you see these bolts for the coils, how they're rusted up and things. Pretty much all the bolts are rusted, but yeah. What is happening is this knuckle on these intermediate steering shafts, that's what it's called, an intermediate steering shaft, they become rusted and they don't move as they're supposed to, like that, up and down, back and forth. Those need to be pliable so they can move and maneuver. If you get tight steering, this is one of the first places to check. And like you see, it's two bolts pretty much. There's two bolts. They're going to be 13 millimeter on the new one here. Okay, that's a lie, because that one is not 13. That's like a 15, 16. This lower one is a 13. So I'm going to have to get another one of those. And hopefully those sizes in there are the same size. It looks close to it. I'm not sure about the same. But the hardest part, or the most difficult part about this, is going to be keeping your steering wheel matched up with your rack and pinion and putting on this new intermediate steering shaft, putting it on correctly so you don't have misalignment and need to get an alignment or having to take it off and do it again and do it again. So we're blasting this thing with PB Blaster. We're going to loosen that thing on up, both clamps, and get to it. Let me go get the right freaking sockets and wrenches for this part here. Alright, so we got these extra tools. What we got for this new joint is going to be a 16 millimeter. You see that? I'll leave a link to this if somebody wants it. Let me know. I got it off of Amazon. For my local O'Reilly's, O'Reilly's is what I use. That's my commercial account, is at O'Reilly's, and I love those guys. But their intermediate steering shafts cost $192. Forget that. I went to Amazon, got this thing with 2-day shipping, $55. Well, it was like 56, but whatever. It should work. It's got a slide-in shaft. It slides in, slides up. Get your adjustments right. Anyways, moving down to the old steering shaft here. I'm sorry I don't have no light for you guys. Let's turn the light up. That's too much. Okay. Yeah. Is that enough? Yeah, that'll be cool. Alright, for the old steering shaft, like I said, the top joint right there, that's going to be a 13 millimeter. Usual. stock. And on the bottom there, it's going to be a 10 millimeter. Can you see that? Barely? Alright, that's going to be a 10 millimeter. So I already loosened them up, and the best bet, instead of just loosening them and trying to take them off, is to remove the whole bolt out of the freaking steering shaft. You can't really see me, but there you go. I'm taking the whole bolt out. There it is, in all its ugly glory. Okay? And the 13 millimeter on the top is already loosened up. It's coming out right now. I do damage to my fingers, man. My hands are rough and busted up. It's a 13 all out. That's my blister. I busted it real good. And cut my finger on this side. But anyways, let's work through the pain. Alright, and like I said, this bottom piece for your steering shaft is going to be a 13. Top is going to be a 16. But to get the old one out, what we're going to do is use some extra maneuver in here. Grab your flathead, usually a stronger flathead than this one. My other one is in the truck, and the truck is not here. And a hammer for some extra motivation for that old shaft to come out, because it's bound to be rusted up. And what you're going to do is take it and right between, it'll probably be easier for me to show you the new one, but right between there, that's the gap where you want to put your screwdriver in. Hammer it in to loosen it up. And then the same thing on the bottom. Pretty much these gaps right there, so you can loosen them up. This small gap right there, definitely going to have to loosen it up. Alright? But first things first, before you do all of that, if you're not used to doing these, then go ahead and put a mark on it for this gap. So mark this gap on the bottom with a white marker down on the lower end, and mark the top one right there. You see that gap? Mark it on the shaft itself, so you don't have to worry about misaligning anything. Alright? But this is my first rodeo, so I'm just going to take it off. It should be made to, you see that there's like a groove. It's like a square with a hump on this side. And then the other side, it's like a triangle. You see that? So it's kind of hard to mess it up, but just in case, because you never know. Once you take the steering shaft off, the steering wheel is going to be able to spin freely, and that will jack you up. So just keep in mind of where you're at. All right. I'm gonna just put a mark I can see right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and bust this steering shaft off and get ready to put the new one on. Also, it'd be easier if you take this intake off. Won't have to worry about it being in your way. So we wedged the bottom, and the bottom's off. You can't see that. There you go. Bottom's off. We're getting the top off. It's already pried apart. We're just gonna knock that thing on out. Okay, she's broke off. You take this whole thing out. You inspect it. Yeah, she's pretty frozen. Bottom is frozen around the bottom here. The bend seems pretty good there. It still slides open. Slides open and close pretty easy. So that's a good thing. Discard that. Let's get our new one in. We put it on the bottom first and then get the top rotated correctly. Be back with you in a second here. All right, we got the new one on. Like I said, remove the bolts. So it's slide on. Open your gaps so you don't have much to worry about. There's a groove for the bolts to slide in. And once you get the shaft on, that's pretty much all she wrote. You just Screw that on. The new one comes with a locking washer in it, so that's less you have to worry about. And once you screw it in there, check this out. Make sure that's, yeah, okay. Screw in there. Come on now. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. Okay. Once you screw it in there, and now it's time to torque them down. So I'll take my 16 millimeter. And the torque specs for this is tight as shit. Okay? There is no torque specs. There is torque specs, but fuck that. The torque specs for me is tight as hell, because you do not want these things popping off. All right? So just tighten it pretty much as tight as humanly possible. And see, that's tight right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my extra wrench. We'll use this one. Take my extra wrench here. We're gonna put it over one nub here. Oh fuck! We're gonna drop the whole damn wrench to the bottom of the damn truck. That's what we're gonna do. Freak. All right. After you recover your wrench, you're gonna take it. When you put it up there, take another wrench right here and slide it over it just like that. So then you have this makeshift leverage thing going on, or just use a breaker bar or whatever. So now we got this makeshift leverage thing going on here, and you can tighten it up some extra turns here. Make sure that thing is super tight there. All right. Okay. That's a lot tighter than it should be. Perfect. And you're gonna take your other bolt that I already put in there, and it's gonna be a 13 millimeter. So we got the ratchet here, and we got just a regular 13. We're gonna take that thing. We're just gonna tighten this guy up right here. We're just gonna put a cute little tree right here off in the corner doing its own thing. But nah, for real, just get these things tightened up. I'll be back with you, and we'll see how it feels after I finish this bolt. All right, the shaft is tightened up. Let's reconnect this mass airflow sensor and put back in the air box here, and then connect the battery back. Oh, that's another thing I didn't mention. If you disconnect your air box so you can get to it, and you pull this red clip, where is that? This red clip right here, it pulls back. Pull that back, and then push your button and disconnect it just like that. Okay? That's how you take the mass airflow off. And also remember to disconnect the battery, because once you disconnect this mass airflow sensor, it's going to throw a code. So disconnect the battery so it can restart and all that good stuff. All right? All right, now once everything's connected back properly, go ahead and you hop in your little truck here. You turn the key on. You find the keyhole first. Go ahead and crank your truck up and give it some turns. See how she feels. And we don't have any problem. You see? All right. And take it for a short drive. Make sure everything's good to go. And that should fix your problem. Anyways, appreciate you guys for watching. You know, like Sox say, stay motivated. Right, Sox boy, go get it, boy. Oh snap, boy. Oh snap, boy. He don't know what's going on. Anyways, appreciate y'all for watching. You got comments, questions, positive stuff, go ahead and leave them at the bottom. Stay positive, stay motivated, and if you got something to do, get out there and do it before somebody else does it, and so you don't have to worry about it tomorrow. Appreciate y'all for watching. Say peace out, Sugarfoot. All right, we out.